Hey Libra, welcome to a Mercury retrograde tarot card reading. This is going to be a random tarot card reading. By random, what I mean is that I don't know what this topic is going to be about, and I don't know who this is going to be for. I'm going to let the cards talk about it. It could be travel, it could be, your job, the situation with your grandmother, it could be love matters. We'll see what's going on, but the focus is that we're trying to zone in on what you're going to be dealing with for the Mercury retrograde using a tarot card deck called the Flow Tarot. Now, I've already uploaded your love readings on TikTok, your March monthly readings on TikTok. That's why I wanted to kind of center in the focus over here on Mercury retrograde. So with that being said, let's get into it. This is an interesting dynamic, because we have heavy-hitting cards like the Tower moment showing up here. But what's unique, and a lot of people fail to do this, to understand the cards in this way, is that a Tower moment, I know it looks like the looming storm on the horizon. I know it seems like a difficult situation is coming when they see the Tower, when a tarot reader sees the Tower, right? And we're talking about the energy of your Mercury retrograde. Who wants a Tower moment in the Mercury retrograde? But what I think is really neat here is the surrounding cards are the Three of Clouds. That's the card of celebration. The Ace of Clouds in the reversal, which is the clouds, by the way, in the Flow Tarot is the same as the Cups. So this is the Ace of Cups, which is overcoming or overflowing happiness. The High Priestess is here with the card of the Gift. The Chariot is here with the card of moving forward in progress. And the Empress is here, which is about abundance. So how bad of a tower is this if we are surrounded by this much joy and specifically the energies of celebration? What I would like to do is I'm going to take this tarot deck here and I'm going to peek into this Tower moment. Let me just kind of center this card here. I'm just going to get some more information about this. What is this Tower moment? Why, universe, have you decided to lay this before us here? The Five of Cups in the reversal position. Interesting. What else do we have going on with this? The Eight of Wands in the upright position. Five of Cups is when you have a situation where it's like there was difficulties that led to a loss, a separation, fighting where people walk away, usually a situation with a kind of argumentative dynamic where someone is just left looking back on the past, looking back, thinking about that old situation, that old hardship that was had. The Eight of Waves here, or the Eight of Wands, is communication. But it's in the upright position, so it's like communication coming in shortly. Oh, and the Ten of Pentacles, that's two people coming together. That's the two houses that come together. The two legs of a chair, the four legs of a chair, really, that brings stability. This is the card of stability, security. So again, with the Five of Cups indicating there was a situation where there was argumentative energy, communications, separations, difficulties, where people were separated, but then it's rendering the energy afterwards of the Ten of Wands, where people are coming together and uniting, gaining wisdom, great security and stability, then I don't think that the Tower moment is something you're experiencing in the present. I think your Tower moment is a situation from the past, a Tower moment that already occurred. If the Five of Cups here, all of this fog and dark energy, if this was in the upright position, I would be more prone to thinking that this Tower moment was happening in the present moment. But because it's in the reversal, I feel more compelled to think that there's going to be some kind of a outcome occurring from a fight that happened already. I also think that there's something to be said about the fact that the Five of Cups, when it's in the reversal, it refers to news that comes your way, and you have the card of news and communication coming in. So I feel like at some point in the Mercury retrograde, you're going to hear from somebody that you may have been separated from. And then what makes it kind of that much more, I think, theme energy of somebody speaking with you at some point is that the Five of Cups, when it's in the reversal, it's the card of renewal. Again, doubling and tripling down on that energy of a situation that's already happened and a renewal is occurring from it. And no better renewal to get than the Ten of Wands. If you don't know what the Ten of Wands is, this is the Ten of Pentacles. That's why it looks like a bloody beautiful, a darn beautiful oasis on the front of this card. Is to a lot of tarot card readers, Ten of Pentacles is the shit, right? It's stability, security, love, compassion, family, the whole kit and caboodle. It's like, you know, having love and money. It's like having safety and stability and love and money, and it's the ultimate. I feel like there's an argument to be made in tarot that you start off with the card of the Ace of Wands in the minor arcana, and what you are truly trying to make your way to is the Ten of Pentacles, because the Ten of Pentacles is the ultimate of what can be manifested out of all of the other cards in the material world. If you use a wand, you're using it to gain things like you would in a pentacle sense. You're trying to, you know, abracadabra your way with a wand into creating something in the real world in front of you. If you have, you know, cups energy, where are you looking for that to show up? You want your heart to be filled and overflowing because something just happened to you in the outside world. If you have the swords, you're using your logic. You're trying to organize things intellectually. What are you trying to organize it for? For things to show up in the outside world. You know what I mean? In the three-dimensional world. So I think some of the most important of all of the minor arcana is the wands, but the ultimate goal is the pentacles, because then the heart and the swords fall into perfect puzzle piece position when we get to that Ten of Pentacles. So I'm focusing on that a lot because that's, like I said, that's a picturesque card to get. That's a great card to get. And here's the Ace of Cups. Ace of Clouds. It's about overflowing happiness. You've got two cards of overflowing happiness here, but the unique part about the Ace of Cups is it's in the reversal position. It insinuates a delay. So I'm trying to see, though, in this reading, remember, this is about what your energy is dealing with during the Mercury retrograde, and with the card of delay there, it makes me feel like something to some degree was on a pause or on a delay, and then you're going to begin the forward momentum of it. Perhaps in the middle or later part of the Mercury retrograde, especially because the other side of this reading has the Chariot, and the Chariot is the card of going forward. So we've got a card of a delay, which brings overflowing happiness, and the card of forward progress, but that is also the card of the princely figure who obtains victory. Fascinating. Bringing me back to the idea of this here celebration card. Ooh, I just had intuition hit me. I know I was about to talk about this celebration card, but I just remembered all of a sudden. High Priestess, Empress, and Tower card are specifically connected. I'll get to it in a moment. The Three of Cups, or the Three of Clouds, in traditional tarot is sometimes seen as the Mother, Maiden, and Crone embodiment, or the Muses celebrating. On some tarot decks, it's a depiction of children celebrating. No matter which way you look at it, though, it's usually a card of celebration, which is why we have the beautiful lotus energy here. This blooming and blossoming, reaching to the surface dynamic, where you, like the energy says, where you saturate yourself with all of the goodness that you have to celebrate. But I'm sitting here. I'm going to pull some clarification cards as well. Is this celebration something that's already happened in the past, or is that what this victory is about? Are you leading to this celebration? Is it going to happen in the Mercury retrograde? No, it's the in-between state. You're in the transition phase. I thought so. Between worlds. Isn't this... just saying, that's a beautiful card. I don't know what it is about the simplicity of this card, with this as above, so below, destined transitional liminal phase energy. I love it. Okay, so the victory comes after the Mercury retrograde. The forward progress, the beginning of well, I don't even think it's the beginning of it. I think it's like the tail end. It's almost like there's something that you've been working towards, and it's involving communication with people or with someone that you might have been separated, or something you've been separated from in the past. For some of you with the Five of Cups, that's people. For others of you, it's a location, because the Chariot can be about travel or a new job. It's like, or even a new business. It's like trying to get to something, but it's been on delay. And in this Mercury retrograde, you're going to see the forward progress begin, obtaining that victory. As you progress after the Mercury retrograde, this is going to be after March the 30th, or pardon me, after March the 20th of this year, that's when you go from the liminal state, the in-between phase of transition, to the card of celebration. Coming together. That's another thing that's really interesting, is that the Chariot card, as I had mentioned, it is in traditional tarot. When the Rider-Waite-Smith deck was created over 100 years ago, this was a prince who was on his way, because like he's on his way to the gates of his kingdom, and he's sitting in this big chariot. He's got the Ummam and Thummim on his body. It's like he's on his way home to celebrate a victory. And that's exactly what Arthur Edward Waite talks about. That's why this is a card that includes victory. But who better to come and celebrate with, right, than the people that you want to gather together with, that you're on the way to see. This feels like it's unity. I feel like your reading is about uniting with something at the right moment. But again, it's something you've been waiting for. The one card that I have not spoken about here is the Empress. Admittedly, I'll be shocked the Emperor is not in this reading. But see, the Empress is in the reversal position. For some of you, I swear, you're coming together with a person you've been waiting for. This could be in love. For many of you, though, I think you're trying to get to a location that involves family, because the Empress is a family kind of card. Remember, I also said the Three of Cups sometimes has family energy, of celebratory dynamics involved in it. And honestly, the Ten of Pentacles, it traditionally has a picture of a couple celebrating and dancing with children at their feet and an old man of wisdom sitting behind them. So it's giving the embodiment of energy again, or the embodied energy of family ties. Like, some of you are either going to see family, and slowly as you pass through the Mercury retrograde, you're going to be setting up going to deal with that. Others of you, maybe you're trying to have a family. This is why the Empress card, or the mothering dynamic, could be in the reversal. And, oh yeah, that's right. In my pregnancy readings, when people do a private reading with me, if they ever want to know about pregnancy, Ace of Cups is one of the cards. But it always means a delay in pregnancy. It means you're going to have the pregnancy, but it's a delay. So for some of you, if you're not trying to go and see actual family, you're trying to have a family, and that family you're going to be uniting with. You're going to have success and celebration, but it's on a time delay. Ooh, what that? Okay. Oh my gosh, it just keeps getting better. What's it called? The gift. You can't see it yet with the High Priestess. You're being given a gift. I swear, I don't know who this is for, but it feels like someone's trying to have a family. Or someone's going to see a loved one. But it's happening. It's just, I don't think it's happening in the Mercury retrograde. You might, because it's the transitional phase in the Mercury retrograde, you might be planning and organizing it in the Mercury retrograde, and then going and visiting or dealing with these people afterwards. It looks very lovely, right? I love it. I love it so much. Ten of Pentacles, like I said. Three of Cups, celebration. Oh, that brings me to that unique connection here also. In historical tarot, the Tower and the High Priestess are connected to one another. The High Priestess, the job of the High Priestess, I'm going to end it off here and telling you this little history lesson. The High Priestess, she takes down the power of an authority system, of the institution of the Pope. The Pope in traditional tarot is connected to the Roman Catholic Church. According to Arthur Edward Waite, the High Priestess was actually the real, true, sacred church. She's battling for power against the Hierophant card. Most people don't realize this. They just think, oh, a priestess and a pope, they must be partners with each other. They're actually not. They're oppositional forces. And when the pope card goes in the reversal, the Hierophant, he goes in the reversal because his power's been taken from him, and the moment the power is stripped, it's the tower. The tower, on this card, it's a storm, but in the traditional tarot, it's a picture of a building coming down. That building coming down is the representation of the Roman Catholic Church falling to its knees. Now, that historical lesson, why would I tell you that historical lesson here? How does, Roman Catholic Church business end up in a reading to do with you and traveling in your family? Because we can take the macrocosm of a history lesson and pull it into the microcosm of your life. And when we have the High Priestess in the Tower here, that means there are rigid rules and boundaries that are getting torn down in order for you to do this travel. And that makes sense with the Chariot card. Imagine being on a chariot, like an old Middle Ages chariot, a horse and buggy, whatever you want to call it, or in a car. The Pope card, or the Hierophant, that gets the power taken away, its representation is, like I said, the tower. And the tower is a building structure. If you were in a chariot or an old horse and buggy or a car, if there's a building in the way, you can't go past. It's like the Monopoly game. You will not pass go. You will not collect $300. It's like, I've all of a sudden got the visual of Gandalf. You shall not pass, right? But with the Tower card, it means the thing that was blocking you is getting stripped away. Woo! Bam, Tower card. See, it's not that you're experiencing the Tower moment. You may have experienced it in the past, and the past it came up as a blockage. You didn't have forward progress for something because the universe was blocking you from something. The blockage being represented by the Tower, the thing that's in your way, is being torn away. It's not you that's having the Tower moment. It's the blockage. Some kind of a blockage you've experienced is about to get pulled out and away from you, and you will start to see that occurring this Mercury retrograde. I'm going to leave you off with that, and if you are interested in some more Mercury retrograde energy, feel free to check out my TikTok where I'm uploading. I am actually, you're uploading. You are going up the road, man. Where I am uploading the next bit of a Mercury retrograde tarot reading. I'll talk to you later. Thank you very much, and ciao for now.